Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back. This is Daily Trading Analysis with a quick market update. So basically, today we started the day very choppy after the open. The reason why is because we had to wait until new home sales at 10 a.m. Came out. So until that, at 8:30, we got nice news, good news, retail inventories in the negative, wholesale inventories lower than expected. So those are good news. And we had to wait until 10. So half an hour, we were quite choppy actually. I was watching this pivot and this pivot before going long, and finally we started to make higher lows, as you can see with this trend line. And basically until then, this was just a choppy market, no risk versus reward, no good risk versus reward. I mean, you can take trades down here, but we had to wait until more or less pre-market high with these two pivots in mind. Once we reach that pre-market pivot, then we pull back and held the 45 EMA. 45 EMA, 25 EMA. The thing is that we were still doing higher lows. And those were the things that you had to take into consideration. And also this pivot, not pivot, but this support, previous resistance pullback is now support. And this, in this move here, you had a nice opportunity to go long. And also here of 45 EMA and 11,600. So those were two nice longs. And at 10, this was after 10. So we basically got the first pullback after new home sales. So let's review the numbers. New home sales were the September one, the sales in September was more or less the same, but you have to watch, to focus on the month over month. We decreased from 24.7 to minus 10. So new home sales just flashed, just decreased a lot. And at that point at 10, you can basically turn bullish if you were bearish. And I mean, you cannot justify going short, seeing this setup and watching the news. So that's what I'm focusing on, following the trend, following the pullbacks, watching the news, and also looking for correlations. So you have these two nice pullbacks, and I think you were able to trade quite nicely following the US dollar. US dollar overall is basically, it's weakening a lot. So it's going level after level after level to the downside. And it's quite good to see these kind of things into this week's earnings. And also you can trade with that. You can wait for the pullbacks, and you can then wait for the continuation to the downside to start the positions on the Nasdaq. That's a good one. And also you have yields. Yields overall during the whole day were going lower. As you can see, they are currently right now minus 2.4%. The 10-year and the 2-year is minus 1.54. Both of them, if you change to the 30-minute, the 2-year is barely holding this support, and the 10-year it's barely holding this previous resistance, is now support. But both of them, yields overall are going lower. So the dollar, the yields, and also the bullishness of the treasury bonds. This is treasury bonds. You had a nice squeeze into the open, but the Nasdaq was super choppy. So this was a divergence. That's a nice reason to wait. And then at 10:30, we started to move higher to test the highs and going sideways. Treasury bonds and yields going sideways is also bullish. Remember, we don't need to squeeze. These are bonds and yields, and those markets are usually don't see big moves. But today, 1.23% is a very nice day for treasury bonds and also for corporate yields. Also good. This is super good following the EMA until 1144, and that's when you can see at this level weakness. And that's what I want to point out. These kind of things, if you know how to visualize and how to wait for them, from 11:30 to 12, right before lunch hour, corporate yields and also bonds were trading sideways but barely making new highs. Corporate yields in this case were at that level. This blue line is the daily, so we were trying to hold that level, and a lot of people was interested in going short on the Nasdaq, but I think until you had a confirmation during this specific time, the same time as the corporate yields were trading sideways and started to pull back, you had this opportunity to go short. Nasdaq breaking down and losing steam, showing some kind of weakness of 45 EMA, of the ascending support, and also your yields pulling back. The dollar was trading sideways, but dollar at that point was super weak. But what you have to focus is on strength. In this case, in this point, strength was showing, Nasdaq was losing strength and was showing weakness. And I think you can have this kind of move to the downside. I think I didn't expect this kind of pullback, but anyway, you had your opportunities for both longs and shorts with your correlations and with patience and having your setups prepared. And I think that's a good recap for today. I think I'm quite surprised seeing the Nasdaq pulling back a lot, almost to this pivot in pre-market. It's not holding the 200. It's not having signs of any kind of strength. So I don't know exactly why. We have to wait until the end of the day for any news, but for sure, trading right now, if you are bullish, is quite complicated, quite tricky. So be careful. Don't chase and wait for your opportunities, as I was explaining. And as always, take your time and be patient. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, you can comment down below. I will try to respond to all of you. If you found this video useful, please remember to click the like button and subscribe to receive notifications when I upload new videos. I upload new videos every single day for market forecast, market updates, and market recap. I appreciate your time. See you in a couple of hours with a market recap. The trading day is not over yet. Remember, be careful, trade your opportunities, and if not, call it a day and see you tomorrow. So discipline, risk management, focus on that, and you will be successful. Stay safe, everyone, and see you in a couple of hours.